very deep connections with IUCN and concerns about IUCN, but isn't a staff member or any other connection. And that's Elizabeth Maruma, who was the Deputy Secretary of the Convention on Migrant Species, now works with UNEP. And I've asked her, she's from Tanzania, and I've asked her to moderate this session to help each of the presidential candidates to have a chance to bring out the best in themselves.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
That's better. We seem to be tense. We'll make our presidential candidates even more tense if we, the audience, are tense. We need to make them feel calm, flexible, ready to serve us. We all know why we're here this afternoon. I don't need to report that, and our current president has already indicated. We have 3 presidential candidates this afternoon. I will give them each 10 minutes to tell us how they will help us manage this big organization in the name of IUCN. I will ask them 4 questions all together, and will expect them to answer all of them in not more than 10 minutes. I think one of the major aspects of management is brevity. And IUCN being so big with many commissions, council, committees, task forces, if we give them half an hour to speak, then it means for the next 10 years they will not be able to manage this big global body. So one would be to test their brevity, just in short, comprehensive answers in not more than 10 minutes each. So help me to monitor the time, because probably that might be one of the indicators of the good manager. So four questions to be answered, all of them together, not more than 10 minutes. After that, I will open the floor to the audience. Please, for questions to the candidates, for clarifications, for elaborations, not comments. Because if we give room for comments, probably we will not have enough time. We only have 1 hour for this process, and will therefore urge for questions to the candidates as opposed to comments on the candidates. Are we clear to that? Before I call the candidates, I can proceed. So permit me to call the candidates, and forgive me if I mispronounce the names. You know, I might be pronouncing in Swahili or Japanese. So please, I begin by that apology. We have 3 candidates, and I will call them in alphabetical order of the second name. So we have Mr. Vilmos Kinzeli from Hungary. Please welcome. Our second candidate, Mr. Anders Wickman from Sweden. Thirdly, we have Mr. Zhang Qisheng from China. Welcome. These are our candidates. They are all in front of us. For me, being a lady, I'm rather concerned. I'm not seeing the other gender, but I will not complain here. Now we proceed. Candidates, as I've said, few questions to each one of you. I'll begin with Mr. Kizel to respond to them not more than 10 minutes. Let me ask you to repeat the questions before you begin, just to be sure you have got all of them. Question number 1. But before I go directly to the questions, since we are here seeking as presidential candidate for IUCN, we know IUCN is being guided by its mission, its vision, and specific objectives. In case you have forgotten them, that will be the basis, and let me remind you all. The vision of IUCN is a just world that values and conserves nature. Are we together? Objectives of IUCN are to influence, encourage, and assist societies throughout the world to conserve the integrity and diversity of nature and to ensure that any use of natural and natural resources is equitable and ecologically sustainable. This is the basis, the vision and objectives of IUCN. Now the questions. Question number 1. Please, Mr. Gizelle, tell this audience in few words, you as the future president of IUCN, if elected, how would you propose to advance the ambitious vision and objectives of IUCN? Question number 2, can you inform this audience what is your personal understanding of and commitment to biodiversity and nature conservation? Question number 3, kindly let this audience know how much time would you have at your disposal to effectively dedicate to IUCN matters if at all elected. And finally, let this audience also know what innovative ways or means would you use to raise funds for IUCN activities. Those are the 4 questions in 10, not more than 10 minutes. Would you wish me to report yes, the same questions? To all of you, it does not mean when the first candidate talks, the second and the third has to repeat. So for the entire audience, there's a lot to learn how the 4 answered questions could be responded differently by different people. Would you wish me to repeat them? I obey and do so. Question number 1. Please tell this audience in few words, you as the future president of IUCN, if elected, how would you propose to advance the ambitious vision and objectives of IUCN? Question number 2. Can you inform this audience what is your personal understanding of and commitment to biodiversity and nature conservation? Question number 3. Kindly let this audience know how much time would you have at your disposal to effectively dedicate to IUCN matters if at all elected. And finally, let this audience know what innovative ways and means would you use to raise funds for IUCN activities. End of the questions. Are you ready, sir? Welcome.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Questions?
Good afternoon, my friends in IUCN. Thank you for this call, debate between the presidential candidates. and thank you for your time being here and listening to us. We have received nice questions, and I think you all put together such nice questions. My answer, your first question was about the future, the vision. How will IUCN look like, I think, between 2016? First of all, it must become a financially sound, stable, and healthy organization. On the other hand, we must regain our position in world scale being the leading conservation organization, but we already lost. The third, we must upgrade the quality, the quantity, and the timeliness of our work, because we are not the best in this sense. And the fourth, we have very nice structural initiatives prepared by the governance unit and the council. And the main tooling is the one program commitments. I wish to see the one program commitment fully implemented by 2016. And this is the new deal what I'm offering as a future president for IUCN. This is about when the members and the commissions, which are our main human assets, are doing the work on the field, implementing the global program, which is marvelous, of the IUCN. And the Secretariat is cordially coordinating it, assisting it. This is my future vision. I'm envisioning a triple helix, which is ideally composed, uniquely effective, and nicely implementing our program and mobilizing the societies joining us in this effort. The second question is my commitment. Let me be a little bit personal at the beginning. I'm from Hungary, you know, it's at present a landlocked country. And instead I was born on an island. I was born and raised on an island, which is a Danube island. And this island is just water everywhere, wherever we go. Not only water, but wetlands, gallery forest, sand dunes, and so on. I grown up in these circumstances, and we had the endless joy, really fun, and fight with the natural elements. All are free, and we had a nice cooperation between those people who are still living on that island. It's another feeling when you are locked with water, and for example, then it is flooding or the ice is rushing. We must cooperate. That's where I learned cooperation. And that's where I loved the nature. Later I had studies, I'm basically scientist, have 3 different diplomas, and later I led and made intensive, large-scale research programs. This is my love to the nature. I'm completely devoted to continue as IUCN president. What I want to give as president, this is the servant leadership. It's very important, the servant leadership, not just a dominant male, but somebody who knows how to listen to other one, how to understand, how to ask, how to reconcile, how to conclude together and implement our conclusion together. This is the servant leadership. What about my strengths? You know, I have a lifelong conservation commitment, also lifelong commitment in democracy, bottom-up motions. I was one who significantly contributed to the changes in my country, about all democratic changes. I spent 20 years under observation during the former regime. Most I have a career from the bottom in IUCN. I'm in IUCN since more than 20 years. During the last 4 years, I served IUCN as a regional councillor and a co-chair of the governance committee and a member of the finance and audit committee. Finally, I mentioned my family, and they are the main source of my life, flesh and soul. And I believe in a big family, a multi-generation family, nicely cooperating components, what IUCN is as well. That's why I'm here. I believe, multi-component cooperating, big family, what is IUCN. Question 3 is about my time. 100%. I mean, 5 full days per week. This is because I'm standing on 2 legs. One hand or one leg. I am NGO since more than 40 years. And my NGO, which is an IUCN member, that's why I'm here from the origin. The board of it liberated me for this purpose. Made a decision about giving me the time and backstopping me in the office for this purpose, being the president of IUCN. On the other hand, my government appointed me as an environmental diplomat just for the presidency of IUCN. I'm the special envoy for environmental family. This is my thoughts in 100% for IUCN. The question 4, initiatives and creative tools for mobilizing resources. First of all, this resources problem is a policy problem and a structural problem. The money is there, and there is a crisis, a general financial, political, and social crisis on the world. Instead, the money is there. We are just not good enough to catch the money. That's what we have to understand. The response of the donors saying, leaving us, that's what we are saying. No, they are not leaving us. We are simply below the line. We are not good enough at present. That's the case. The organizations who are receiving money, big money, they are better as we are in the moment. We must become more relevant for the 21st century, more relevant for the world. In these times, we must understand IUCN has been established 64 years ago. Almost 2/3 of a century has been passed. We must socialize and understand this and accommodate into this. More concretely about mobilizing, on one hand we must reinventing ourselves. We more or less forgot our mission statement, but you very nicely quoted as our mission. Especially, I love the spirit, the beginning words of our mission statement, which is saying, influence and encourage societies in plural, all components of the societies, because we are not strong enough doing the job alone. The services, what I see as main component, we must change, and I offer a new deal, what I mentioned to you earlier, in which the membership doing the job and the secretariat assistant. This will give a completely different structure, which is resulting a slimmer secretariat and a much better set of commissions, because commissions are doing their job practically for peanuts, and their results are the knowledge products, what the world and conservation community is using for their benefit. We must use these